Hey guys, All In Crypto here and welcome back for another YouTube video. So like the title of this video says guys, I'm going to try and show you guys why I believe the price of Bitcoin may reach as low as $15,000 before shooting all the way up to somewhere between $25,000 to $26,000. I'm going to try and explain how I think this is possible and why this is possible, and give you hopefully an understanding of how these cycles sort of play out, and the fact that what we're going to see in Bitcoin has essentially already played out in a previous cycle that it had sort of as we were entering the 2017 bull market. So let's get straight on with this video. And first what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin price chart against the US dollar. The reason that I'm using US dollar is because it's the world reserve currency. If you want to, you can always convert it. It's sort of the most widely accepted. So that's why I'm using it as a little side note. And guys, what I think is going to happen in Bitcoin, I think has essentially already happened. I think markets as a whole, not just the crypto markets, tend to repeat themselves and play out in similar sort of structures. And where I think we are currently in the Bitcoin sort of markets, I think we're here. We could quite easily compare it to our previous sort of market structure for the 2017 bull run. I think we are here, guys, and I think this is, you can sort of compare these. This is just a larger version of what we've previously already experienced. It's one reason I think we're going to experience a pullback. Pullbacks are very common. One reason I wanted to make this video was so just to let everyone know that do not be alarmed that the crypto market as a whole, and more importantly Bitcoin, is selling off. What Bitcoin does, the rest of the market tends to sort of follow. I think it's very normal. It can be very healthy, and it can also be a fantastic buying opportunity, guys. So what I think to come is my sort of prediction. Here I've drawn some sort of trend lines. Well, not really trend lines, but I've drawn some sort of waypoints for a 30% sell-off, a 25% sell-off, a 20% sell-off, a 15% sell-off, a 10% sell-off, and a 5% sell-off. I think a 20 to 15% sell-off, somewhere around that price range, which would take us to 15,000, just over, to 16,000, it is not only likely, but in my opinion, if I see that and I see some sort of a bounce back from that, sort of a rounding off from that, that for me is going to be sort of concrete evidence of where we're going, and the 26,000 range is going to be a very achievable and likely target. Like I say, guys, Bitcoin tends to sort of work in similar cycles. All throughout the bull market 2017, we had anywhere from 30, sometimes we had 20, 10, 5. We had regular pullbacks. It's just part and parcel with crypto. It's still very volatile. But ultimately, for you holders out here that have accumulated all throughout the sort of bear market and even are accumulating now, a pullback you don't need to worry about. If you're in this for the long term, which I always recommend, 90% of traders lose money, and that's in the traditional markets. The crypto market is a hell of a lot more volatile and a hell of a lot more perilous, and often doesn't make a lot of sense. Not that really any markets make a huge amount of sense, in terms that, it's not kind of, you can predict it to a certain degree, but really it's kind of like trying to predict the weather. You're not always right. And like I say, 90% of traders lose money in traditional markets. So if you compare that to the crypto market, it's probably a higher percentage. So try not to be one of those guys. The way I sort of structure my sort of involvement in the crypto market as a whole is I am a long-term investor, long to mid-term investor, and I buy cryptocurrencies and I hold them. So why I dip and why I'm watching these levels is I'm looking to accumulate into this dip. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only two cryptocurrencies at the moment I'm accumulating. I hold a number of altcoins, but I'm very happy with my positions. I think Bitcoin is kind of like gold and Ethereum is like silver. They're safe bets for me. I don't really want to be getting into any sort of hot projects. There are a number of coins other than Bitcoin and Ethereum that I would definitely recommend and aren't very hot, but they're, at the moment I'm very focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. There probably will come a time when I start accumulating altcoins again, but the time for me isn't now. Now we're in the bull market. I'm very focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And like I say, the purpose of me making this YouTube channel was to kind of help you guys out and give you guys some of the lessons which I have learned and wish I had learned when I got into the crypto market around about 4 years ago. I've been through the highs and lows of this market. I have a relatively good understanding across the board in crypto about how things work, not only the actual cryptocurrencies themselves, but the markets. What drives the price? What drives the price is very can be very similar to other cycles. Like if you look at the dot-com boom and how everything played out around then and the certain stocks that were involved then, you can see a lot of similarities. So the prediction that I'm going to give you guys, and I leave everything on YouTube, even the predictions that I got wrong, is that I think Bitcoin is going to sell off. I think anywhere from 5 to 30%, which is very vague, but I think if I was to sort of narrow it down, I'd say we sell off between 20 and 15% before we then shoot up to around about 25 to 26k before we then see some sort of another pullback. So this could be a fantastic opportunity for you guys that are looking to sort of add to your portfolio size, add to your position. And as a side note for altcoins just being any other coin alternative to Bitcoin, is if Bitcoin dips, all the other coins tend to dip. There are some exceptions that have just sort of not been as correlated, but you don't really want to be worrying about that too much unless you're somewhat of a micro trader, I guess. But on the big macro of crypto, Bitcoin's the real big dog in the room. It's what drives the market. And before I go, guys, like I said, I just wanted to give you a quick update. It's quite late where I am. It's 1 o'clock in the morning on the 10th of the 12th, 2020. So I'll release this video probably tomorrow at some point. I want to talk to you about a lot of people saying that the crypto market sold off because of something called Mt. Gox. Now, Mt. Gox was an exchange that got hacked. I'll see if I can find some exact figures here. They reckon there was 860,000 Bitcoin that was essentially hacked from Mt. Gox. So that's a hell of a lot of money. And they are now on about sort of reimbursing and refunding people. They managed to track down a number of these Bitcoin and sort of reclaim them. They reckon that the total is 140,000 Bitcoin that they're going to distribute back to the original people who had bought them. And the idea behind this is that is essentially worth now 2.63 billion. And that when these people who invested, I think in 2005 or potentially earlier and were just storing it on Mt. Gox, when they receive these coins back, because of where the price is today and where it was when they bought it, they'd be massively in profit and have the urge to sort of sell their cryptocurrency, well, sell their Bitcoin. One, I don't think everyone's going to do that. It could be quite likely, but one reason, even if it is likely, I'm not worried, is because they're talking about 2.6 billion here. They're not talking about 100 billion US dollars worth of Bitcoin. They're talking about 2.6, and the Bitcoin market cap today is currently sat around about 343 billion. So it's, you know, a very small chunk. It will undoubtedly affect the market, but how much it will affect the market, I don't think will have a substantial effect on the market. The crypto market's very funny. It tends to move further on the downside to bad news than it does to the upside on good news. A lot of good news, we're constantly having good news and bullish news about crypto. It doesn't tend to move the price that much, unless it's news directly related to the price, and it's maybe, you know, somebody who actually works for one of these cryptocurrencies coming out with saying that it's going to do this because of this. It tends to move on bad news more than it does good news. And I just wanted to put people's minds at ease of this. Yes, it wouldn't be fantastic, but I really don't think that it would be the end of the world. I think somebody worked it out, and it would be the equivalent of sort of 6 months mining or something, 6 months of coins being created, and that would be the equivalent. Where we have companies like Grayscale that have bought double the coins that have been mined in 6 months. Or I don't know if 6 months is the correct figure, but they've been buying double the amount of Bitcoin that gets mined, the amount of Bitcoin that gets buyed significantly outweighs that. So don't worry, guys. finally, again, we'll just sort of let me reiterate that this is exactly where I think we're going. I think cycles repeat themselves. I think we're going from a 20 to 15% pullback before we then, add sort of 40% to 50% onto where we are now and end up around about 26 to 25,000 US dollars. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, if you haven't, please let me know in the comments and tell me why. If you have, please leave me a like. Subscribe to the channel, guys, because I'm going to be bringing out videos frequently. I'm going to try and help you guys, help as many people as I can, not lose money in this market. Remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion. It's an opinion, and it's something I feel very strongly and very passionate about cryptocurrencies. And I just want to share that with you guys. So I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Take it easy.